You're watching your hair thin, your sex drive vanish, and your doctor tells you it's just aging. But what if I told you that you're not aging? You're being poisoned by your own hormones. And the worst part, it's not your fault. I'm Dr. John Kim, and today we're talking about something that's silently destroying the bodies of both men and women, something most doctors won't even test for, something called estrogen dominance. And you need to watch this full video because the solution isn't another prescription. It's a protocol that addresses the root cause of your hormonal chaos. Let me paint you a picture. You're a man, and you're noticing your hairline receding, your belly growing, your energy crashing by 2 p.m., and your libido, well, it's just gone. Or you're a woman, and you're dealing with thinning hair, stubborn weight gain around your hips, mood swings that make you feel insane, and zero desire for intimacy. You go to your doctor. They run some labs, and they tell you everything looks normal. Maybe they prescribe you an antidepressant, or tell you to exercise more. Or worse, they tell you it's just stress. But here's what they're missing. Your estrogen levels aren't just high. They're dominating your entire endocrine system. And they're suffocating your testosterone, your thyroid, your adrenals. And this is why you feel like a shell of yourself. Let me explain the mechanism. Because once you understand this, you'll never look at your hormones the same way again. Estrogen dominance doesn't mean you have too much estrogen in isolation. It means you have too much estrogen relative to progesterone in women, and too much estrogen relative to testosterone in men. And when this ratio gets out of balance, your body starts to break down. In women, progesterone is the calming, protective hormone. It balances estrogen's growth signals. It supports hair growth. It maintains libido. It keeps you emotionally stable. But when progesterone drops and estrogen takes over, you get hair loss because estrogen increases an enzyme called aromatase, which converts testosterone into more estrogen. And that excess estrogen shortens your hair growth cycle. You also get low libido because progesterone is needed to produce DHEA, the precursor to testosterone. And without it, your sex drive flatlines. In men, testosterone is supposed to be the dominant hormone, but when estrogen creeps up, it binds to testosterone receptors. It shuts down your body's production of free testosterone, and it triggers something called SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin, which locks up the little testosterone you have left. So you're left with hair thinning at the crown, gynecomastia, man boobs, a soft midsection, and a libido that feels like it died years ago. And here's the kicker. Most conventional doctors only test total estrogen. They don't look at estrogen metabolites. They don't check your progesterone to estrogen ratio. They don't measure SHBG. They don't assess your liver's ability to detoxify estrogen. So they miss the entire picture. By the way, if you are tired of being told your labs are normal when you know something is wrong, hit that subscribe button. We are building a community that demands real answers, and I want you to be part of it. Now, let's talk about why this is happening. Because estrogen dominance isn't random. It's the result of a perfect storm of modern living. First, Xenoestrogens. These are synthetic chemicals that mimic estrogen in your body, and they're everywhere. Plastics, BPA in your water bottles, phthalates in your shampoo, parabens in your lotion, pesticides on your food. These chemicals bind to your estrogen receptors, and they tell your body to act like it has more estrogen than it does, and your body can't tell the difference. Second, gut dysfunction. Your gut is supposed to eliminate excess estrogen through a process called the Estrobolome, a collection of bacteria that breaks down and excretes estrogen. But when your gut is dysbiotic, when you have leaky gut, when you're constipated, estrogen gets reabsorbed into your bloodstream. It's called enterohepatic recirculation, and it's one of the main reasons your estrogen stays elevated no matter what you do. Third, liver congestion. Your liver is responsible for metabolizing estrogen into safe, excretable forms, but when your liver is overwhelmed by alcohol, processed foods, medications, environmental toxins, it can't do its job. So estrogen gets converted into harmful metabolites like 16-hydroxyestrone, which is linked to hair loss, weight gain, and even cancer. Fourth, chronic stress. When you're stressed, your body produces cortisol, and cortisol steals progesterone to make more of itself. This is called the Pregnenolone steal, and it's why women with high stress have such low progesterone. And low progesterone means, you guessed it, estrogen dominance. Fifth, insulin resistance. High insulin from sugar and refined carbs increases aromatase, the enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen. So every time you eat a high-carb meal, you're literally feminizing your hormone profile. And this is happening in both men and women. So what do we do about it? Because here's the truth. You can't just block estrogen with a supplement and call it a day. You have to address the root cause, and that means fixing your gut, detoxifying your liver, balancing your blood sugar, and eliminating xenoestrogen exposure. Let me give you the protocol. Step 1. Support estrogen detoxification. You need to optimize phase 1 and phase 2, liver detoxification. Phase 1 is where your liver breaks down estrogen using enzymes called cytochrome P450. Phase 2 is where it conjugates that estrogen with sulfur, glucuronic acid, or glycine, so it can be excreted. To support this, you need cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, because they contain DIM and I3C, compounds that push estrogen metabolism toward safe metabolites. You also need sulfur-rich foods, garlic, onions, eggs, and amino acids like NAC and glycine to fuel phase 2. Step 2, heal your gut. You need to restore your estrobolome, and that means fixing dysbiosis, sealing leaky gut, and optimizing digestion. Start with a high-quality probiotic that includes lactobacillus and bifidobacterium strains. Add in prebiotic fiber, resistant starch to feed those good bacteria. And if you're constipated, you must address that, because if you're not having daily bowel movements, you're recycling estrogen. Step 3, eliminate Xenoestrogens. This is non-negotiable. Switch to glass or stainless steel water bottles. Ditch the plastic containers. Choose organic produce to avoid pesticides, and read your personal care labels. If it has parabens or phthalates, throw it out. Step 4, balance blood sugar. Cut the refined carbs, the sugar, the seed oil. Eat protein and fat with every meal, and consider intermittent fasting to improve insulin sensitivity, because every time you spike insulin, you're feeding estrogen dominance. Step 5, supplement strategically. DIM or I3C for estrogen metabolism, calcium D-glucarate to prevent estrogen reabsorption, magnesium to support phase 2 detox, and adaptogens like ashwagandha or rhodiola to lower cortisol and protect progesterone. For men, zinc is critical because it inhibits aromatase, and chrysin can help block estrogen receptors. For women, consider bioidentical progesterone under the guidance of a functional medicine provider, because sometimes you need to replace what's missing. And here's what most people don't realize. This isn't a quick fix. This is a lifestyle recalibration. You didn't develop estrogen dominance overnight, and you won't reverse it in a week. But if you commit to this protocol, if you address the root cause, you will see your hair start to thicken, your energy return, your libido come back to life, because your body wants to heal. It just needs the right environment. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Dr. Kim, this sounds overwhelming. Where do I even start? And I get it. That's why I've built a system, a clinical framework. that walks you through every step of this process. If this resonates with you, don't guess with your health. Click the link below to book a discovery call with my team. We'll run the comprehensive hormone and gut panels that conventional doctors ignore, and we'll build your personalized roadmap to recovery. Or if you realize that your estrogen dominance is being driven by blood sugar issues and chronic stress, watch this video next where I break down why you can't lose belly fat, the cortisol and insulin trap, because the same inflammation driving your belly fat is exactly what's destroying your hormones, because you deserve to feel like yourself again. You deserve to wake up with energy, to look in the mirror and see your hair growing back, to feel desire again. And it starts with understanding that your symptoms aren't a mystery. They're a message that your hormones are out of balance and that your body is begging you to address the root cause. So let's do this together. I'm Dr. John Kim, and I'll see you in the next one.